Hello everyone, Unknown Reefer here. First video I've actually been able to do for a little while. I've been absolutely manic with work and real life, unfortunately, so not had a chance to do any videos. In fact, I've not had a chance to do a water change on this tank for about 3 weeks. But I actually tested my nitrates yesterday and they were only about 10. And my alk was at about 7.8. I'm trying to get that up a little bit, but actually it came out quite nicely. I'm not worrying. I didn't test phosphate because I know my phosphate reactor seems to do the job quite nicely, so I'll try and get some water this week in the Christmas holidays and then do a water change, but at the moment everything's doing quite nicely. Now what I want to talk about today, if I can get past all the fish, is the rock flower anemone that I've got. I've probably had this about 18 months, and I do know there's a bit of aptasia there. I've got 2 bits of aptasia in this tank. I've got a peppermint shrimp in there and it's eaten 1. There was 3, and I'm just waiting for him to make his way round and eat the rest of it, but it doesn't seem to be, hopefully, touch wood, doesn't seem to be spreading too much. Oh, and my toadstool's having a bit of a sulk on, and that's probably the last bit of cyano I can see in my tank after putting the red slime remover in. But anyway, back to the rock flower anemone. As I said, I've had this probably about 18 months. It's been through majority of my tank disasters, which I will do a video about probably today as well. So it's very hardy. Doesn't seem to want massive amounts of light. It doesn't try to move around and go up high. It seems to be quite happy at the bottom of the tank. I even had, when I had T5s on my previous tank, it even put itself down onto the sand bed because it doesn't like too much light. It will respond to a feed. If you chuck some food on it, it will close in on itself and go into the mouth, which you can see in the middle. And it does close up a bit at night time as well, but generally it's open like that. It doesn't move around anywhere near as much as a bubble tip. I used to have it where these new candy canes are. They used to be up there on the rock, and then I had some issues with my heaters. Well, it wasn't an issue with the heater. I added some RO water because the reservoir had run a bit dry, and the RO water was very cold, and when it mixed in, it put a little bit of cold water in the tank. Nothing else seemed to really be bothered by it, apart from the rock flower. The returns up there, so I don't know if it bounced off the glass and washed back towards it with some cold water, but it didn't like that, so it moved itself round here. There was another rock in front of it, but because it's one of the showpieces in my tank, I then removed the rock stuck up top there, so you can see the rock flower. Other than that, it's sort of moved within an inch of about where it is now. It seems to be quite happy there. Opens up, gets food when I chuck some food in. Yeah, and looks absolutely amazing under blues as well. This is, as I said before, this has actually all been filmed without any filter. So there's no blue light filters. This is what my tank looks like in the middle of the day. There's a little bit of natural daylight coming in as well on the tank, but this is basically within about 20 minutes of my max spec jump lights being full power. You probably heard the fans on at the beginning of this video. They come on every now and then, but they're not overly loud. I had a Mars Aqualight before and that was a lot louder. But yeah, as for the rock flower anemone, I would say they're a good starter nem. They're nice and hardy. Again, hardier than the bubble tips. They don't move around the tank that much. That was probably just over half as big when I bought it, and it's grown quite nicely. So they grow. They got some real good colours out. They really sharp under blues. So if you're thinking about trying an M and don't want the issues of a bubble tip floating around, I'd recommend one of those. Thanks a lot.